People have always been afraid of the inexplicable. What looks frightening today will, after a while, turn out to be commonplace and boring. But a world where there are no mysteries and secrets isn't worth anything. The question is, how much do you believe in mysticism, and have you met the unknown face to face?
What was that?
Owl mail. We'll soon find out what's on that flash drive.
We found her under such strange circumstances that I would never have believed you if I hadn't seen everything with my own eyes. Are you sure you trust the person you sent it to?
Yes, I trust him more than anyone. You know, I haven't always done these paranormal investigations. Once upon a time, I had completely different plans for life. At school, they predicted I would take my place in the sciences, and at the university, they feared that the world would have to know the second Doc Brown, a reference to Back to the Future. My father James wanted me to follow in his footsteps. He's the head of the Department for Containment and Study of Artifacts in a secret organization known as Heron, something between the Men in Black and the FBI. Only they're mostly engaged in propaganda and hiding traces of paranormal activity. And Rita, my mother, and a writer of children's fairy tales, assured me that there I would die either in the clutches of aliens or from boredom with this bureaucracy. Well, regarding the endless paperwork, she was right. I had my own approach to work. Formalities and limits annoyed me, and therefore I left after a year. I took on a pseudonym and registered as a private detective. I was looking for an interesting case for almost a month, but it found me on its own. Someone contacted me, claiming that only I could help him, since no one believes him and he can't go to the police. Yes, you understood this correctly. It was Moki. Somehow this overgrown hacker found out everything he could about me, including my previous job. So I didn't really have much of a choice. And so began our friendship and business partnership. He found me clients with the same kind of dangerous and mysterious cases, and I solved their problems for a decent fee. Experience and connections in Heron played into my hands. And now, by the age of 30, I've gained fame and respect in the circle of knowledgeable people, and now there are a lot of things to do. But, lately, it seems that the anomalous things have been appearing twice as much, at least here in Redwood. Something's definitely going on. 2 weeks ago, Krista Lindberg, already known to you, sent Moki such a huge advance for urgency that he could not refuse her, and pushed all our current business aside. At first, I thought this was yet another capricious rich woman, but I was wrong. Sure, Krys is overly impressionable, but she's brave and apparently, she also feels strange things around after all. Inez and the tourists were actually hypnotized by someone in the forest, and the illusion, and Father Henry, stocks and buying a house through white primer, it all has something to do with the Lindbergs. And now that fox symbol. Just a coincidence, or does it mean something? No, there's definitely some kind of conspiracy going on here, and I'll find out what it is. Did you find anything?
Not yet. And you?
I think I found it. Just what exactly is this?
Looks like coordinates.
To open this hatch, you'll need a key. Coordinates are a hint, and where exactly to look. We'll orient ourselves onto the spot. Well, get ready. A trip to England, to Devon awaits us. And on the way, I'll tell you a frightening legend. Residents of Devonshire hadn't seen such a snowfall for a very long time. On the night from February 8th to 9th, not a single local resident dared to go out. And if someone dared to leave his home, something worse than a blizzard would be waiting for him. That night, on both sides of the mouth of Exe Estuary in South and East Devon, the very embodiment of evil had visited. The thing is that the next morning, after a snowfall, residents found very suspicious footprints in the snow. By their appearance, they didn't belong to any local animal. The tracks were about 4 inches or 10 centimeters long, the total length of the tracks being almost 100 miles or 160 kilometers, and the spread of them in over 30 different places in the county made people's skin crawl. But even more strange was their trajectory. The strange footprints went in a straight line, completely ignoring any obstacles. If houses, rivers, haystacks, 5-foot or 1.5-meter fences and drain pipes appeared in the way, the creature didn't veer off. It passed directly on any surface. Damn it.
What's the matter?
There used to be a big park here. In the center, there was an old crypt. Most likely, the coordinates led exactly to it. I was hoping we'd find the key there.
You think there's nothing left here at all?
Excuse me, I heard you talking about the crypt. So it was demolished a long time ago. Didn't you know?
We're not locals. We came here on a tour specifically for it.
Oh, so that's how it is. Well then, I'll tell you. Some hell of a thing started happening here a couple of years ago. People went crazy. After walking over here, they weren't themselves anymore. As a result, the authorities decided to demolish the park along with everything that was on the grounds. Due to the fact that time had already passed a good bit, we started talking about building a parking lot, as it was a strain for us here in the city. And now, as you can see, construction's in full swing. What about the crypt? To the north of here is an old cemetery. All the burials moved there. Something was sent out to the museum to collect dust behind the glass. By the way, it's pretty close.
Got it. Thanks for the info. Curious. We have no choice. Let's go. Incidentally, there was also something interesting about the Devonshire devil case. The nature of the tracks clearly indicated that their owner moved on two legs, and his height, it seems, easily allowed him to raise his hoof to the height of a village house. After the unfortunate snowfall, many Devonians became afraid to go out, especially at night, and religious communities urged residents to sin less. But even in the middle of the 19th century, which was still rich in superstition, some people in England refused to accept that the devil himself visited their homelands. Writer Geoffrey Household suggested that a failed experimental balloon was to blame. The links at the ends of the mooring ropes dragged along the ground and left characteristic traces. Some believed that the footprints were left by badgers, since this is the only plantigrade quadruped living on this island. There were also theories about mice, kangaroos, and even a mysterious one-legged creature that was allegedly seen in 1001 on the island of Labrador. We need to search everything here before it gets dark.
Why bother the dead for nothing? Not local, yet climbing on the mournful land. There's no reason to roam about where you aren't expected. People are disappearing anyway, and you're also angering the dead.
Simon, maybe you shouldn't.
No, we came here to find an important item. We've come a long way, and I'm not going to leave empty-handed.
Leave before the same thing happens to you as to the other grave robbers.
What happened to them?
2 weeks ago, some people came here. They were looking for something, and immediately realized that things were bad. But I only saw them briefly then, and people say that these robbers heard some music, froze up, then no one else ever saw them again.
It's somehow very similar to what happened to our tourists.
Go away.
Look, we really need to get there. In that crypt, my great-grandmother was buried.
Okay, over there in that direction. But visit shortly and don't take long. Otherwise, Tommy will be very angry.
Very convincing lie. Believed it myself. There's no key here. You need to find and check the crypt. It must be hidden somewhere. Or it was put in one of the coffins.
Doesn't it seem like this is already a bust?
I told you, we won't leave until we find the key.
Simon, that's not ethical. We're disturbing the dead.
Are you there too? Better help me. We'll get through it faster. This is my job. Mysticism, secrets, anomalies, what I encounter all the time. And if I need to dig into someone else's grave to find answers, I will. You made the decision to be my partner, so be one and help me.
What if there are evil ghosts here too?
Oh, they're here. No doubt about it. But if necessary, I'll remove them.
Simon, you're acting like a fanatic, not like a scientist.
All scientists are a bit of a fanatic, Krys.
Listen to me, please. First, it's already dark, and second, something's wrong. It seems to me we're being watched. Let's leave and look for another way to open that lock. I don't know, we'll order a team with rock drills or blow it up. It will definitely take less time than digging up all the graves here?
The presence of Devil in Devon is evidenced not only by footprints. On October 21st, 1638, ball lightning allegedly hit the Church of St. Pancras during a thunderstorm. It happened right as service was going, when about 300 people were gathered inside. Lightning killed 4 parishioners and injured 60 more. Legend has it, being sure that nothing bad could happen in such a place as a church, the locals blamed the evil forces that had secretly entered into the holy place for what had happened. Allegedly, someone was playing with cards during the service. There was a bad rumor in Devon about the gambler, Jan Reynolds, who was rumored to have made a deal with the devil. The deal could have been that Reynolds would have had good luck at cards until he fell asleep in the church. Then the devil would take his soul. And so it happened on the day when the ball lightning flew into the church. He dozed off, dropping a deck of cards from his hand. It's a pity we never found the key. And yet, why do you need flowers?
Let's go. I didn't lie. My great-grandmother is actually buried here. It's a pity that the cemetery was so neglected. It's wrong. This is our history, the memory of our ancestors. It should be protected and respected.
You may be right. I don't always think about what's right and what's wrong in terms of morality. I'm a materialist. I'm used to putting the goal, evidence, and facts first, and only then everything else. So sorry if I was too rude.
What? It's all right. I understand. Thanks for saying that out loud.
Poor Tommy. You scared him. He's done nothing wrong to anyone. He's the only one who cares about us. Everyone else has forgotten about us.
The devil was again brought to mind in 2009. According to residents and local journalists, on March 12th, mysterious footprints once again appeared in the vicinity of Devon. However, this information was not officially confirmed anywhere. The police also declined to comment. So what was it? A badger looking for food? Jumping mice? A balloon? Or does the devil really like to visit Devon from time to time? Any, even the most plausible theory, is still better to double check, especially if it's based on rumors. It's always better to verify for yourself the accuracy of the information and see it once then hear it several times. Regarding the legend of the creature, all we have today are photographs of some footprints in the snow. Maybe they were taken by the inhabitants hoping to draw some attention to their small town, or were they really left by the devil himself? There's still no reliable information about the mysterious footprints from Devon. All the theories and conjectures without evidence have remained exactly that. People at all times told tales about various monsters, calling them either Satan from Devonshire, then the devil from Jersey, or the chupacabra. In fact, they were all wrong. These creatures are called Sheshi. People are afraid of their appearance, but they're not dangerous, and even useful if they're not disturbed or angered. The curious ones settle near cemeteries or memorial places and feed on a sense of grief. They never show themselves, but cry with people. And when it becomes easier for them, they pick up what was left on the grave and leave. Apparently, Tommy guarded the crypt in the park, and when it was destroyed, he went to the old cemetery. Until today, I haven't ever met Sheshi, only heard of them. It's not clear why the mask didn't feel it, and as far as I know, Sheshi cannot play any musical instruments. Is it a coincidence that the looters from the cemetery and the tourists with an Ez were pursued by someone with this music? And if so, then who? I have a hunch. I'll figure it out soon, but I'm really afraid I won't like the answer.
Simon, stupido! What did you give me? Where did you find that?
What's on the flash drive, Moki?
I don't know. I broke through the encryption, but as soon as I opened the archive, all hell broke loose. Monitors were flashing, everything started floating, and then dropped.
No way the flash drive couldn't be anomalous. I would have felt it. Okay, don't touch anything. It could be dangerous.
Oops. Oh, Brother, this is your area of expertise. What's the matter? I think it's time for you to come pay me a visit.